Hey, so today we want to talk about gender reveals, and do you find out what the gender of your baby is while you're pregnant? Did you find out?
No.
You
we
didn't?
No.
Oh, I would have been 100% sure you would have found out.
Well,
I
you
really
are
would've.
50% correct because
Okay.
I wanted to know.
Okay.
We thought we were going to have like 40 kids. When we were getting to the stage of the pregnancy where we could find out, my husband Greg said he didn't want to know. And I was like, what's my body? I had to get to know. And then we talked about it. And he said, you know what? This is going to be the only real authentic surprise in our life.
Yeah, right.
And I'm
right.
like,
Yeah.
well, the other surprise will be when you find out it's not yours.
But you know what? People argue about that and they'll be like, well, you're still surprised. You just find out earlier.
You're
But it somehow feels different to me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say we only ever had one,
yeah.
but when Maddie was born and she was a C, so that big blanket was up,
Yeah.
and Greg was peering over, and I guess the umbilical cord was like right down the center,
Okay.
and he's like, I'm like, are you freaking kidding right now?
Man.
And he said, it's a girl. And we were sure it was a boy, so much so that we were arguing about circumcision and everything else. We didn't have a name.
Oh, we could talk about that too.
But I had a name for a girl my whole friggin' life. And I was sure it was a boy. And when he told me it was a girl, I bawled my eyes out. And I would still say that was the happiest moment. But also that I had a healthy baby. So I don't know.
Did you secretly want a girl?
No, I just secretly wanted. We had a lot of problems. I
you
just secretly
were glad
wanted.
to get a baby.
I was happy to have a baby.
You were happy to have a baby. Yeah. You know, I never found out with any of mine.
Really?
Which is very unusual.
Whoa.
Apparently, it's very unusual for like big families. Like, I think the doc said when I was maybe having the fourth that everybody she knows who's had a fourth would find out the gender. They just
I guess
planning or whatever.
planning. What clothes, what colors.
Right. And you know what? I actually do really like the surprise of not knowing. And there's a couple things for me too. I really don't care about the gender. I mean, and maybe that's easy for me to say because I may have 3 and 3, right?
Yeah, you
and I
had a good
actually
mix.
had a boy and girl right away. So maybe if I'd had 5 boys, I would have been like, oh, it'd be nice if this one was a girl. I don't know. I really didn't want to find out because I've had 6 C-sections.
Yeah.
And I hate the C-sections. And when I'm lying there and I'm wide open and I'm wide awake and I'm totally freaked out at the fact that, you know what I'm saying?
So freaky.
It's so freaky that they're shuffling around down there in your innards and you're wide awake. So when that's happening, I like to just be like, I wonder if it's a boy or a girl. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl. Yeah. And I think if that were taken away from me, I don't know what I would be focusing on in that moment. That would distract me from the fact that they're shuffling around in my drawers. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to cope with lying there on the table, knowing what was going on without being able to focus on something. Like,
something
is
to
it a boy
distract
or a
you.
girl? Yeah, I needed that distraction.
Yeah.
And what I didn't need was the one doctor who was like, when they were sucking at the amniotic fluid, I was going, he said, oh, I'm just making cappuccinos back here. I'm like, no, not appropriate in the moment.
That's gutpuccinos. Those are my innards coming outered.
Yeah, so I never did find out, and you didn't find out. However, this is interesting because my mother and mother-in-law wanted to know with the last couple. So I
I can see that.
Yeah, so I had them write it down when they did the what do you call it, ultrasound. Yeah. They wrote down, put it in an envelope, and then I delivered it to my mom. So my mom knew.
Oh, what a good idea!
And I didn't, and she never blew it. I knew she wouldn't blow it.
No.
But she liked to know because she liked to do a little bit of shopping. I don't know why, but they just kind of like, when you can know, why wouldn't you know?
That's true.
You know, people are organized.
Yeah.
But you know what? For me, I had all the baby stuff. I kind of am gender neutral with my stuff anyways because I like good hand-me-down situations, right?
Yeah. But you know, when I went to, I don't know if it was my baby shower or a baby shower I was going to, and the girl at Toys R Us, we were getting a gift certificate instead of something gender related and like pink or blue. And she said I would go with something neutral because the biggest returns that we get in this store are people who buy gifts for girls, gifts for boys based on the parents knowing the sex and the ultrasound being wrong. Not being wrong, but being misread. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that happens more than you think, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so pink the room yellow.
Although I feel like that might be an urban legend because I don't actually know anyone that's ever happened to.
I don't know that I do either.
Huh.
And we're pretty, I mean, the technology is pretty good these days. If you see some of those 3D, 4D ultrasound things, it's like it's ridiculous. It's like I can see what my baby looks like. It's crazy.
Yeah, but before all their skin is happening, it's like, that's lava baby. That was, I did not like that ultrasound. There was no need to
so
ever
when she
see
came
that.
out, you're like, you're way cuter than your lava baby
oh,
picture.
thank God, because we almost just gave you away.
When they say all babies are beautiful, not so much. Now, the other thing that's kind of fun is the gender reveal. I know my sister did this, but they didn't find out. What they did was she had a baby. She had a little bit of a whoops baby. So she had 2 older kids.
Right.
And they didn't find out the gender, but they did bake, she baked cupcakes that were blue on the inside and pink on the inside. And the kids found out the baby was born, they came to the hospital, and then they bit into the cupcake and it was a pink. So they saw that it was a little bit. They were already looking at the baby but didn't know. And then they found out through the cupcake.
Oh my
so it was
God,
so
what
cute.
a great idea.
Yeah, there's lots of really good ones out there. If you go on YouTube it, Google it, gender reveals, there's some pretty classic.
I bet there is.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to leave in the comments whether you found out the gender of your baby and why. And tell us if you want us to talk about anything in particular. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers.